Alright, today we're going to look at the Wicked End solo. Now this one's been requested so many times on the channel that I just had to have a look. And to be honest, I'm super impressed because this has always been one of those really underrated solos. I remember listening to City of Evil and this one really stood out to me. It was like the simple drumming and rhythm guitar and those chords just gave this big sense of like something heavy, something doom, something like impending coming at you. And considering it's called the Wicked End, that's quite on brand. I thought there was great use of alternate picking, some like just a whole section of sweeps at the end, which, you know, when I was first hearing this, sweeps were like the coolest, newest thing to me, so it was amazing to hear that consistency, and it's still pretty amazing today, I'll add. And also some little legato bits, and bits that just sound off and weird, but purposeful. It's very creative. Anyways, I'm going to break down the sections one by one here and try and run through at least how I play it. There's not many live performances of this one, and to be honest, the only one I could find is like audio only. There's no video, so I don't know how Sin exactly plays it, but I know his style pretty well, and I think I've got something down that would be a good approximation, and at least should be a good starting point for any fans to learn, so that's why I'm sharing this video. It's not necessarily correct, but it's a pretty good attempt, and all the other resources out there are also probably not correct, so might as well throw my hat into the ring. Okay, so the first bit goes like this. So that's a bend on the 13th fret B string, and then 13, 12, 10 as a pull off on the B string, and then you go to the G, 13, 12, 13, 12, 10, and then 9. So after you do that first bend, there is a bend and release on that next 13. It's almost like you're approximating it like 15, 13, 12, so that's the kind of feel you're going for. It is quite legato, but there is some picking in there. It's very possible it is played going down the strings to the D string. But I do find keeping it on just B and G easier. Then it finishes off with a big slide up to the 17th fret on the G string, and then 13th fret on the same string. Okay, now we get to like a little economy picking, sweeping thing that's absolutely crazy. It is the prototype for what he was going to do on later albums. Like everything Hail to the King onwards has to have this section in it somewhere, but here we go. So starting on the A string, 10, 13, then you go 12 on D, 12 on G, 14, 15. I think it's better to economy pick it, but you can alternate pick it. So from there, you follow that shape upwards and you go 15, 15 on B and E, and then you go 17, 18. So it's... From there it only gets better. You go back, reversing that 15, 17, 18, and you do the sweep down. So the tricky bit with this is your hands are already in like a shape to get here, and now you have to do rolling sweeps because it's the first 3 strings are 15, and then the last 2 are 17, and then you have to go back up. Okay, so you do that sweep, and then when you get back up to the top, instead of going 15, 17, 18 and reversing, you're going 15, 17, 18, 20. You go 18, 17, 15 again. And then another tricky bit here. Instead of going 17, 15, 14 on G, you instead go 14, 15, 17, 15, 14. So you're coming down in this shape, and you have to move your index finger to be the starting note on the next bit again at a pretty decent speed. Like, you have to really practice that movement, that jump. And the last bit to end it is some 2 notes per string with 14, 15 on D, 14, 15 on G, 14, 15 on B. After you get to the top there, you go back to the 14th fret on the B string, 15, 14 on G, and then you do a bend on the 17th fret. So altogether that's... next bit, a bit easier. I think that's the hardest bit of the solo, at least for me. So you'll do a quick 15th fret on the D string, and then you'll do the main melody bit, which will repeat, which is 13, 14, 15 on G, 13, 14, 15 on B. I'm not sure if it's strictly picked. You could probably legato it. So after you do that section, you go back to 14 on G, and then you go 13, 14, hammer on, and then bend the 13th fret B string. And we do a similar idea starting on the 17th fret B. So it's 17, and then 15, 17, 15, like hammer and pull off. And then slide back to 14. So that's all kind of like one motion. So you do that one motion, and you go 15, 17, 18, 19 with a bend. Then we go up to the E string. So that's 17, 18, 17, 16. And then you move your index finger up to the 17th fret, and you just go chromatically and bend the 20th. From there, we go 17th fret, so 22, 17, 18, then you go 20, 17, 18, and then you go one string lower to G on 19th fret. We slide our hands back to the 17 to 13 area. So we do this little idea of, which is 17, 16, 13, 15, 13, all on E, 15 on the B string, and then 16, 17, 18 back on E. And then these crazy slides, which is like, it's just chromatically going down 15, 14, 13, 12. And then you slide all the way up to 18 and do the same thing. So 18, 17, 16, 15. And back to 15 to 12 again. So it's like this 3 repetition of 15, 18, 15. Like those are the starting notes. And then you go down to the B string, do the same thing with 13, 15, 13. So that's 13, 12, 11, 10, 15, 14, 13, 12. After you do that, you do 10th fret on the G string, and then 10, 11, 12, 13 with a bend on B. From here we go back up towards the 17th fret, and we do this idea on the E string, which is 17, bend and return, 14 on G, 16, 15, 14. And then you go back up with 15, 17, still on B. Okay, so next we're going to do the same idea, repeating a couple of times, just changing the notes. You go 17 on the B and bend it up. Return, then you pull off 15, 14 and hammer on back on 15. And we do the same thing on the 16th fret on the E string, but we're going 16, 13, 12, 13. And then you bend 17. You bent that 17 on the E, and then we do a bit of a different finish here. It's 15th frets on the B and the G. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, just alternating. And you hit the 17th fret on the G. It might be an 18 with a half bend, or it's a 17 with a full bend. Just see what feels right. It's a bit of a messy one as well, so I don't mind rolling with a bit of ring out. Then there's another really cool but weird idea. We're going to be still around the 15th fret. I use my middle finger on the high E and my index on the G. So you hit the E twice, then you go to the G, slide up to 19, and you hit 18 on the E, slide back to 15, so it's... And then from there it's just 15, 15, 15, and then bend on the 18th fret. It's strange one, but if I line it up there, I can keep my double 15s there, so index and middle, and then slide up so I've got 18 and 19. And then just go back to index for those. And then some little shred fun. So here we're going 17, 18, 17, 13, twice. And then the same thing, 14, 15, 10. And then we go up to the 13, 14, 15, 16th frets on the E string. And we get ready for the sweep. So that's, keep your hands there, then slide it up. So once we go 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, pull off 13, all normal, 15, 14, 15, land on the 16th fret on the A string, and then when we reverse the sweep, we're gonna go 17 back up. So that means that you're hitting the A string twice, so down, up. And when I get to the top, I'm doing the 16, 17, 16, 13, but quickly. So that's... I'm pretty sure that is a fast 13, 16, 17, 16, and then back down. But that means that we're doing a slightly faster pace to get those 4 notes in, which would usually be 3. So you can do 16, 17, 13. Okay, so we do that shape twice. Then from here, instead of doing 16, we go 17, 18. Still back to 13 on the E, and now we're sweeping down with a rolled 15th fret. So that's a B through to D. I still do the 16, 17 idea, so... Not quite sure if that 16, 17 is in there, but it does sound really cool when you get it. A little chromatic shift up. Then from there, it's a very similar one. So we've done that twice again, but instead it's going to be that 15, 15, 17, 17 shape from the initial sweep. 15s and 17s. So after we've done that second sweep shape twice, as we're ascending back, you don't need to hit that 13 again. So you start rolling up the 15s and then put your index finger there, ready to take over. So you see how I swapped over? Let me try it again. A bit messy, I know, but you should be getting the idea. I think it's just easier when you've done it 16, 17 to just sweep up with 15s with your index finger. Then I use my ring and pinky to do the same. 17, 18, 15, 15, 17, 17. There's no second note here, so I just double up. You just need to do these shapes a million times and then start working on piecing them together like in sequence. So, and then once we're done with that, twice, you go back up. It's basically the same shape again, so. So yeah, we go back to that same first shape. And then you slide up to 21, 17, 18, 19, 19. Well, all the best with that one if you do attempt it. Let me know how you go in the comments, and let me know if you have any other suggestions for lessons. Cheers.